This video is a collection of a couple days worth of work. We hired a guy that had a pretty big skid steer. I think he said it was 78 horsepower or something, and had a Forestry Mulcher. And he said he had just got the Forestry Mulcher and what Harley was breaking it in. So he's trying it out on our project here and he's learning with it. So as the video progresses, he kind of gets the hang of it. We found out actually later after this section here that he was running it in reverse, because when he put it together he swapped the input versus output lines, and that'll reverse the drum. But after a while he figured it out and we got it going the right way, and you'll see in the video it's, instead of shooting straight up in the air, it kind of pulls it under itself, actually mulches it up like it's supposed to. So here we go to a better part. Inside the cab. I actually got a new camera for further on, down the YouTube journey. It's a little DJI Osmo Action 3. It's like the competitor to GoPro, and it works pretty good. It's got a bunch of different mounts to attach to different things like magnets such as cups and whatnot. But in this I just magnetically attached it to the inside of his door frame, and it gave us a pretty good view as to what he's seeing. Anyways, you can still see here that it's shooting all of that stuff straight up in the air, and it's not really pulling it in and using those sharp teeth like it's supposed to. This was before we figured out he was running it in reverse, and just a little more detail on how that works is these skid steers have a supply line and a return line. And if you get those reverse, it runs the attachment in reverse. So the way these drums are set up is they have a direction they're supposed to turn, like a saw blade or a chainsaw. It's like they have a dull side and they have a sharp side. So if you're running it in reverse, then it's just running in reverse. It's not on the sharp side. So I'm glad we figured that out. Once we did, everything went a lot faster. I think what I'm going to do now is probably just put on some royalty-free music. I'll probably come in with some commentary here a little bit later when we get to a different part, different section of the mulching process. It's running the right way, shooting it forward like it's supposed to, and that means it's cutting good. He's making good progress. what you get when you hire one of these mulchers. You see, I mean, it's just mulch, you know, almost powder in some places. And I mean, you can't even pick out individual leaves. When we were talking to him before he got started, we said, you know, you can mulch it into the ground as much as you can, but, you know, try to save some time. I mean, even here you can see, I mean, he's mulched it into the ground, and these big trees like this, you can see the drum, those teeth, it's so much better than using a chainsaw. Of course, he's going to come back and mulch that stump down, but, you know, where's the rest of the tree? Well, it's all over the ground, you know. It's so much better than cutting down trees and hauling them off, you know, whatever you do with them, firewood, or you got to store it. This was a big pile here. He's still got some stuff left in there, but I mean, this pile was, you know, about that tall, and it's just mulch now. This will all decompose within a year, and it'll be good compost for grass. Come back here, and this is where the house, I think, is going to go. We still haven't really decided, but I mean, he pushed that back there, and the house is going to sit right back there, and it's just all dust and mulch and just tree fiber plant stuff. So, and it's just, this is so much more open now for building. I mean, hell, you can hear him back there. He's getting after it now. Let's go see what he's doing. So this is at the back of mine, and if you turn, this is where the creek is. The main road is right through there. Creek, you can see he's come through here, and where it's mostly just dirt, that's where he's been. And that's where he's mulched it into the ground. And I don't want to really get too close, kind of sounds spooky. You can already see he's done a lot back here. Yeah, he's like right around that corner, so I don't want to get too close, but we'll see when he gets done. But you can see already, I mean, all that there is just dirt and mulch. Stumps are in the ground and everything. Well, after walking around a little bit and looking at all the progress he had made, got a little bored and didn't really want a bunch of wood shavings laying on my part of the property, and I wanted to eventually get some grass to grow. I actually laid down some grass seed a couple days after this mulching happened, and I have not checked to see if it has come up yet, but we're coming out this next weekend to do some heavier machinery work, and I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good video. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. And this part is just scraping up some of the bigger chunks, putting it into a compost pile later for gardening, but that's a lot later. Well, this is the pile I'm left with when I'm done scraping up all of that big stuff that you don't really want to hit with a lawnmower. Looks pretty good. It'll give a chance for the grass to grow through, and The rest of this will just settle in. We are supposed to get some rain here in a couple days. Push some of the bigger stuff over there where he's still got some mulching left to do. Get some of this bigger stuff mulched up, and then that'll go back over there to the pile. But any of y'all wondering what's the best way to do this? A bucket would work, but it's kind of hard to get all of it into your bucket when it's nice and loose and fibery like this. But a grapple bucket is just about the best thing for this, because if you can see in the video, I would tilt the bucket up and have the forks open and clamp down on the material, pick it up like that, carry it over there, and it works the best. And you could try it with a bucket. The grapple bucket's just the best. And another thing is those tines in the bottom let the dirt fall through, let all the finer stuff fall through, so you pick up all of the big stuff. So that's another reason why it works better. You're not getting all the real small stuff, and you're not getting all the dirt. It's just falling back through. So figure we're gonna go over here and check out what he's doing, see how much progress he made in that hour I was doing that. So, well, he's still working off in there if you can't see him, but I've decided I'm not gonna get too close, and I'm just gonna put the drone up in the air, and we'll see what he's doing.